Hi guys. For people who follow a bit of American politics, even Abhijit Chavra covered this. This seemed to be an obvious thing that was going to happen, and today the official announcement has come. Punjabi origin Republican politician Nikki Haley has announced her campaign to become the presidential candidate for the Republican Party in 2024. Let's check out the report. So Nikki Haley announces presidential campaign. She says it's time for a new generation of leadership. Haley joins former President Donald Trump in vying for the GOP nomination because so far Donald Trump is the only one who has announced that he's running for president in 2024. Former South Carolina governor, which is the equivalent of a chief minister in India. So she has been a Republican. She has always been Indian born. I guess she's Sikh. Former South Carolina governor. She became a governor of South Carolina, which is a very conservative state. And she used to be an UN ambassador as well. Nikki Haley announced Tuesday that she is running for president, seeking the Republican nomination for 2024 election. In a video message posted on Twitter, Haley touted her record as South Carolina's governor while looking to the future and the needs of the country. It's time for a new generation of leadership. Haley identified numerous threats facing the country, from the socialist left to Russia and China, warning that there are those who see the United States as vulnerable. They all think we can be bullied, kicked around. You should know this about me. I don't put up with bullies. And when you kick back, it hurts them more if you're wearing heels. Oh, how cute. After a formal announcement, Haley hits the campaign trails, first in New Hampshire. Political pundits had long viewed Haley as a potential GOP meaning Grand Old Party. Our GOP is basically Congress, their GOP is the Republican Party. As a potential GOP presidential contender, as she crisscrossed the country the past 2 years through her political group Stand for America, helping fellow Republicans running in the 2022 elections for their Congress. Haley's travels brought her numerous times to Iowa, New Hampshire, and Nevada, which hold the first, second, and fourth contests in the Republican presidential nominating calendar. Haley's home state for South Carolina votes third in the GOP primary schedule. That is when their primaries happen, which is an election, a public election for choosing the candidates of their party. I think that's a great aspect of their democracy. Although corruption is easily done in those sections of the machinations as well, but it's at least fun to look at and talk about. There's a little more that creates some more amounts of political awareness in the masses, so to speak. When speaking with reporters last year who questioned her about a White House run, Haley reiterated that after November we'll figure it out, but you know what I've said. I've never lost a race. I'm not going to start now. If there's a place for me, we'll put 100% in and we'll finish it. I don't think there's any way in hell that she wins the nomination. So there's no question of her becoming the president, but it would be fun to watch her, and it would be fun to watch the cultural Marxists from the Democratic Party who always talk about women being oppressed and women of color being extra oppressed. You all need to notice that how she is going to be viciously attacked by those factions of the Democratic Party, even though Nikki Haley is a woman of color herself. And that's the same that they did to Tulsi Gabbard, obviously. Haley is the daughter of immigrants from India who grew up to become South Carolina's first female governor. She became the first female governor of that state, of a Christian conservative state, being a Sikh herself. Behind the scenes, she had been ramping up her operation in recent weeks. Nikki Haley has been laying the groundwork for a national launch. Haley joins former President Donald Trump in the race for the GOP nomination. Haley publicly broke away from Trump following the 2021 Capitol riot, with statements condemning Trump for his words leading up to the events of that day, as well as his persistence in declaring that the 2020 election was stolen from him. In January, Trump said Haley called him to discuss the possibility of her running against him. "Go by your heart if you want to run," Trump said he told Haley, and he said he told her she should do it. Trump then appeared to take a dig at Haley, noting that she had previously publicly said she wouldn't seek the White House in 2024 if Trump ran again. "Nikki suffers from something that's a very tough thing to suffer from. She's overly ambitious." This is what Trump said about her. Among the others making moves towards launching a campaign or seriously considering a Republican presidential run are Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who I think will become the president in 2024. Tim Scott of South Carolina, never heard of him. By former Vice President Mike Pence, who was the Vice President under Trump. I don't know why he's running, he's too old. Former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, no way, he can't win. Larry Hogan of Maryland, no way. Asa Hutchinson of Arkansas, never heard of him. Governor Chris Sununu of New Hampshire, never heard of him. Kristi Noem of South Dakota, never heard of her. Glenn Youngkin of Virginia, never heard of him. Former Governor Chris Christie of New Jersey, he's still running, my god. Chris Christie is a funny character, of New Jersey, and former Representative Will Hurd of Texas, never heard of him. So I think it's going to be basically between Trump and DeSantis, but it's fun to have a woman of color angle to this whole thing. And now let's check out a bit of her family background. Haley was born as Nimrata Nikki Randhawa to immigrant Indian Punjabi Sikh parents at Bamberg County Hospital in Bamberg, South Carolina. Her father Ajit Singh Randhawa and her mother Raj Kaur Randhawa immigrated to the United States from Amritsar district, Punjab. Her father was formerly a professor at Punjab Agricultural University and her mother received her law degree from the University of Delhi. Haley was known under her middle name Nikki, a Punjabi name from her earliest days. Haley's parents moved to Canada after her father received a scholarship offer from the University of British Columbia. British Columbia is a place in Canada. When her father received his PhD in 1969, he moved his family to South Carolina after accepting a position as a professor at Voorhees College, a historically black institution. Her mother, Raj Randhawa, earned a master's degree in education and taught for 7 years in the Bamberg public schools. In 1976, she started a popular clothing boutique, Exotica International. It closed in 2008. Haley has a sister and 2 brothers. Her sister Simran, born in Canada, became a radio host and Fashion Institute of Technology alumna. Her brother Mitti retired as a member of the United States Army Chemical Corps, having served in Desert Storm. Dear God. Her second brother Charan is a web designer. At the age of 12, Haley began helping with the bookkeeping in her mother's ladies' clothing shop, Exotica International, a very family thing going on, obviously. In 1989, she graduated from the private Orangeburg preparatory schools. She graduated from Clemson University with a bachelor's degree in accounting. And this is her husband, from whom she got the surname Haley. William Haley is a commissioned officer in the South Carolina Army National Guard who served as the first gentleman of South Carolina from 2011 to 2017. First gentleman meaning the husband of the first lady. First lady meaning here the governor, which Nikki Haley was. He was the first man to hold the position because Nikki Haley was the first woman governor. So this will be fun to cover. Jaya Jaya He Mahishasura